AMD upcoming Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D and 9900 by 3D CPUs to feature similar gaming performance to Ryzen 7 9800 by 3D. Extra cores won't help too much. Team Red has disclosed that their newly announced 3D V-Cache CPUs will perform similarly to the Ryzen 7 9800 by 3D, making the latter model even more compelling. AMD's new 3D V-Cache CPUs won't benefit gamers, as they will come with similar performance to Ryzen 7 9800 by 3D but higher pricing. For those unaware, the 9800 by 3D isn't the only Zen 5-based 3D V-Cache processor that AMD planned to release, as just recently, the company unveiled the Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D and 9900 by 3D, targeted towards bringing top-notch performance. However, AMD's product and business development manager Martijan Boonstra claims that the 9950 by 3D and 9900 by 3D won't feature much of a difference in gaming performance, citing the difference in core, thread utilization in titles out there. New chips will provide similar overall gaming performance to the 9800 by 3D. There will be some games that perform a bit better, if the game engine utilizes more cores and threads, and some games will perform a little worse, if the game engine favors a 1CCD configuration, but on the whole, the experience is comparable. AMD via Video Gamer. Well, this is indeed a subjective statement, given that the upcoming 3D V-Cache CPUs will outperform the 9800 by 3D in scenarios where there's a need for higher core utilization, but however, modern-day titles work perfectly fine with an 8-core environment, which is why it is claimed that for a majority of users, switching from the 9800 by 3D to the newer 9950 by 3D and 9900 by 3D CPUs won't be benefiting at all. And because 3D V-Cache configurations mostly favor gamers, it would be interesting to see how the upcoming X3D CPUs perform in the market. In terms of specifications, the Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D features 16 cores and 32 threads with 2 CCDs and a single I/O die, offering up to 144 MB of total cache. That's 64 MB from the Zen 5 CCDs and 64 MB from the X3D stack. The Ryzen 9 9900 by 3D CPU has a 12-core/24 threads configuration, offering a total cache of up to 140 MB. The extra cores on the newer models will help bring performance differences from the Ryzen 7 9800 by 3D, but that might not be too visible in gaming workloads. The Ryzen 7 9800 by 3D has gained massive sales traction in the markets, not just due to its gaming performance, but Intel's disappointing ARLS launch has played an enormous part in it. It has reached the point that major retailers have run out of stock, and individuals are selling the X3D CPU at inflated prices. Whether or not the upcoming 9950 by 3D and 9900 by 3D CPUs will see a similar reception is the question for the future, but the release will help in distributing the demand for 3D V-Cache processors on the market.